Hi, I'm Alison. I'm the Early Years Teaching and Learning Leader at St Gregory's Catholic Primary School in Margate. I've been here for about 2.5 years now. When I first arrived, we used a really traditional approach in the early years. Activities were laid out for the children to do, and there was a lot of clutter in our classrooms.
I'm Rachel, I'm an NQT. I've been at St Gregory's in Margate for a year now. I started my NQT year in July last year, so it gave me a month to get to know the children and start to really understand the early excellence approach, because it's totally different to any other placement school I've ever had before. So I had a month to sort of try to get my head around it before I could do it in my own classroom.
The independence that we have got out of using the early excellence approach has been amazing. The children know where things are, they're always there, they can go and take them when they want them and use them independently in their child-initiated learning time. It also has been fantastic. Choose it, use it, put it away is our favourite phrase. I know that you use it in year one as well.
Definitely, they love that, yeah.
And it just means the classroom stays tidy. The onus is on the children to make their classroom nice. Obviously the adults support them to do that, but it is their learning environment.
And they actually are shocked if another child hasn't put it away. They're like, somebody hasn't put it away.
Yeah, it makes that whole class community, doesn't it? Making sure that we work together as a team to make sure everything stays nice.
Yeah.
And I know in Key Stage 1, the children have got specific jobs that they can do, haven't they, in the classroom?
So we have monitors for each area. We've got a construction monitor, so they have to make sure that everything's put back in the right boxes. We have an area for, a monitor for our writing area, so they have to make sure that the paper's all there, all of the lids are on the pens, and just things like that, so that I'm not having to do it as well. They're taking responsibility for their own areas, and they'll just come and tell me if something's running low so I can go and get it, or if there's something that they really want that I haven't put out, they might say, oh miss, we really, really would like to have this coloured pen or this sort of special paper, and then I know that's what they want, and then I can try and get it for them.
And it's really good as well, because I find it means I've got less to do, so I've got more time to now spend with the children. I'm not constantly setting up activities, I'm not constantly trying to do things. I'm actually spending that continuous provision time having conversations with the children and really getting to know them, which is a real big difference. I think the traditional approach was always you called children over and they had to do an activity with you, and you really stopped them having that long length of continuous provision, whereas now they have really big chunks of time where they can become really engrossed in what they're doing. And actually that for us has meant that we can see the characteristics of effective learning much more evidently in the children's work. And we really see the perseverance side of things, because they've got time to make something, review it, change it, and if things aren't going right, actually they will keep going. They might ask for help of an adult or another child, but that's a real big change, because before they would have just been called over and they would get quite upset and quite annoyed that they were halfway through something and then, oh sorry, you've got to come and do this now. So we don't tend to do that anymore. The children very much lead their own learning, and it's about the adults questioning the children and modelling to the children what we would expect them to do. So obviously in September it's very different to the end of the summer. We're getting the children used to where things are kept in the classroom and really heavily modelling what they might do with different resources. But children are children and they always have their own ideas, and it's amazing to see the creativity of the children using all the resources that we've got. So that's been a real positive in terms of how we've used the transformation project to see the impact on our children.
And going back to what you just said as well about how the children, they like to go back to their work. That was quite a big challenge as well, is trying to understand at the end of each day you don't have to have a finished product. It was I found that as a bit of a challenge, having to be like, oh, it's right, they've done their own thing and taken a step back, and then they can finish it off tomorrow, because you can sort of if they've started building something, you can just put it to the side and tomorrow they can go back and finish it. They haven't got to put it all away and then just forget about it. It's theirs tomorrow to come back to and carry on, which I've actually quite enjoyed. It's been quite a learning curve trying to be oh, that's okay, they haven't produced anything to put away today, but they can come back to it and do it tomorrow. So
I think really over time, actually, what you get is much more high quality.
Yeah,
isn't it?
definitely quality.
When your children are building something, if they leave that for the next day to add to, eventually they'll get to maybe writing some instructions for it or writing a story linked to it. So actually much more purposeful than having something and taking a photo and putting it straight away. It's that longer process, and that's really important for children to see, because you don't always immediately get an outcome for everything that you do, even as an adult. Sometimes it takes time, practice and patience, and the children are learning those skills so early on that it's going to stand them in really good stead when they go into Key Stage 2 as well.